Like seriously, are you dumb?
Man, I don't know what's going on, but I see a lot of these fuck niggas popping they shit, thinking that niggas, you know, they tough, they cold with this shit, and it's absurd. I find that disrespectful.
Like seriously, are you dumb?
Talking reckless, bet he ain't gon' try. Ain't no coming back, one step and it's goodbye. He can see me let it fly, now it's so touch the sky. Another dumb way to die. They should warn them they don't make it out alive. We don't talk, we just carve it in the side. Left the mark, now his name in the fire written high. Another dumb way to die. He ain't beat the precepts context, now he a highlight in the text. Tried to start but got reset, soon as he got checked. Guess he yesterday's news, now he online talking less. Boy was gassing up the smoke, now he choking on the stretch. True dime busted on his own sword, put that fraud to rest. Thought he was solid but cracked under heat. Now he's compressed, we the real highlight. Leave our mark with the blade. Swing sharp, every text plain, no need for a shade. Bring heads back to the camp, left the fire engraved. And no echoes in the void, rebel your name, jumping terrain. Think it's a game, watch his last verse go live. Step wrong, now he trending another dumb way to die. Talking reckless, bet he ain't gon' try. Ain't no coming back, one step and it's goodbye. He can see me let it fly, now his soul touch the sky. Another dumb way to die. They should warn them they don't make it out alive. We don't talk, we just carve it in the side. Left the mark, now his name in the fire written high. Another dumb way to die.
It's a thousand ways to die. Why the fuck try us? Keep playing with me, I'ma show you I got nothing to touch. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Or you must be bored whole time. Super sad, barbarian soul. Drink that garbage juice, you need it trying to step to me. You know you a pussy nigga, slice your head off your body. Narratives and propaganda's not the way to fight, little bitch. The top is where you wanna be, but this is where we fucking live. The shot is on me, the ball's the only thing we loaded. Got 49 in the drugs, you saw your homie, now he folded. It's a bunch of headless horsemen walking dead up in these streets. I'ma call you Moses, write your death in your defeat, you niggas dumb.
Talking reckless, bet he ain't gon' try. Ain't no coming back, one step and it's goodbye. You can see me let it fly, now it's so touch the sky. Another dumb way to die. They should warn them they don't make it out alive. We don't talk, we just carve it in the side. Left the mark, now his name in the fire written high. Another dumb way to die.
Especially when these fuck niggas be trying to talk to us barbarians and shit, stepping to us, thinking they gon' fucking come out alive and shit. Like, nigga, you don't understand, nigga, that we all fucking savages, nigga. Like, do you wanna die or something? Like, you niggas disgust me. Shame you niggas.
Hello, everybody. Are you ready? I'm ready.
Yo.
I'm beyond ready. So, if you're wondering how we got here, it all started with a debate about astrology and astronomy between Doctah Too Sweet and Cedrick Ortega of the Pseudo-Killers. Anybody else want to say something? Before I go on the story down. No? Okay. So.
Hi.
Hey,
man, we here. Make sure y'all hit the like button.
Yes. So, Cedrick and all of the Pseudo-Killers actually decided on the after show that we as barbarians as a unit could not read. We don't read. We don't present anything, and that we're all pseudo because we said, especially me, said that the stuff that Cedrick was presenting was pseudo. Right? We all know proto-astronomy, but proto-astrology and the stuff he was saying about divination and all these other things, trying to make these disconnects. Come on now, we like astrology and stuff over here. You giving us a pseudoscience still these things. So it just didn't look right. It looked off to us. And we needed some clarifications. Right? So, would y'all like to just go straight into the things? Also, oh yeah. So, this right here that I'm putting on the screen, this is the thing. This is the slide that started it all. This is the slide he told me that I needed to read because I don't know how to read, and that Francesca Rochberg definitely agreed with him because of this quote. Right, the divinatory use of celestial phenomena, astrology, emerged as a specific system of interpretation distinct from mythological or theological ideas about the heavens. The religious views of the heavens precedes astrology, but is not equivalent to it. It's what he claimed, she said. I would have loved to know where he got this from. And instead, he put some video of him calling me a child and telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. So, we got the source. But before this source came up, right? This is the slide from Doc's, because she went first because she was affirmative. This is from hers, and she also quoted the same lady. And she said there is further potential terminology in applying astrology with its associations to Hellenistic Greek theories of stellar influence and fatalism to the Babylonian material, which does not share a common cosmological or methodological basis with Greek astrology. Okay, so she's saying like they're two different things. This is actually an exact quote, which a lot of people in the comment section of that live was saying that she was misquoting them because it clearly was saying something opposite that Cedrick was saying, but that's because he was misquoting. Anybody, Mel, you got something to say before we start pulling it up and pulling up the book?
Yeah, I definitely got something to say. Before we, get started, I want to set the tone. Whenever you do quotations or you quote someone's speech, you're always supposed to make it a direct quote, meaning using the exact words spoken or written by that person within quotation marks. And it should be properly cited, preferably MLA format. For example, if I'm going to make a quote, I'm going to say, I have a dream in quotations, and then put said Martin Luther King. Now, that's not the full part of what he said, but regardless, he said it. That is part of his speech. That is the title of his speech. And he said that multiple times within his speech. That is directly quoting Martin Luther King. So if you're going to directly quote someone, you need to make sure it's exactly what they say. Don't add nothing to it. Don't take away anything to it. Don't infer your position or your belief to it. Just directly quote it. If you're going to see here tonight that wasn't done.
Absolutely. I just have on here like how to quote to back up what Melvin was saying.
Yep.
Exactly what he said is what they said.
And I just want to say, just like Honey said in the intro song, the pseudos always die suicide by barbarian swords because they think we the dumb ones, they think we the pseudo ones, they think we the stupid ones, unknowledgeable. So they always fall on their own swords. That's the whole purpose. Stop coming at the barbarians. Stop attacking the barbarians. We won't smoke. It's free smoke, but y'all don't be ready. So Nas said you got to get your head cut off, and it's with your own sword. We ain't even draw our weapons. It's your own sword that your head is getting cut off with, buddy.
Period. We in the building. This book right here that I have on the screen is the book that he actually quoted quite well. He pseudo quoted quite heavily in his slides, right? So this first slide So this is just him saying that she makes it clear that the ancient scribes who recorded the movements of planets were not astrologers in a modern or even Hellenistic sense. They were astronomers and scientists of their time. This is not at all in this book, right? Like not at all, at all. But I can't even. I don't read you the whole book because as we go through it, we'll see it. So the elusive page 23. I showed this morning this too, but I could do it. So on here, he kept saying that saying that the sun is God is religious, right? But saying the sun is in Leo, so you'll marry soon is astrological. And he claimed that this is from this source, the heavenly writings. Where she definitely totally disagrees with all of that. But as far as page 23, I can read the entire page 23. I don't know how should we do this because I'm gonna tell you what's not there, what he said. So how would you guys want to do?
Let's go read his quote. You know, the way he put that she said, what she said, even though I see some grammar issues, but regardless, let's go ahead and read what he has. And then after we read what he has, we're gonna go back to her book and let's read what the author says on that page. And then we'll go back and mention his quote again to see if anybody heard or saw that exact quote in the book per the page that he cited. So it's page 23. Let's go ahead and read what he has. If you want, I'll take over and read his part, and then you can read the book.
Okay.
So he's quoting Francesca Rothberg from the book The Heavenly Writing, done in 2004. That's the full title of the book for what is Heavenly Writing, Divination, or Horoscopy and Astronomy in Mesopotamian Culture. So for me, that's already a red flag. You're not even fully putting the title in there. So his quote from page 23 in that book is the divinatory use of celestial phenomena, astrology, emerged as a specific system of interpretation distinct from mythological or theological ideas about the heavens. The religious view of the heavens precedes astrology, but is not equivalent to it. That is his quote unquote direct quote. You want to go ahead and read the book?
It's quote unquote direct quote. It's crazy. All right. So here I go. Let me add this to it. Oh my God, I had to go get my other thing. That was not working for me. Oh, I gotta take this down. Hold on. Alrighty. Let's read the book. Oh, that didn't work. How about that? Okay. So page 23. It starts from the other page though, so I don't know. Parameters. I don't know. We should even start there.
Let's just start with the first paragraph. If it included page
Okay.
22, he should have cited that.
Right. So by the second half of the 19th century, scholars turned more intensively to the translation. It's page 23. By the second half of the 19th century, scholars turned more intensively to the translation analysis of the many cuneiform inscriptions poured into Europe from sites throughout Iraq. In the last 2 decades of the 19th century, the Assyriologist Strassmeyer, working at the British Museum, copied the inscriptions on late Babylonian tablets, that is, on those dated to the last half of the first millennium, for the many tablets consisting largely of numbers, months' names, and technical terms unknown to him. Strassmeyer secured the help of Joseph Epping, a professor of mathematics and astronomy. The result of their collaboration was the discovery of a mathematical astronomy in the tablets found in the 2 cities of Babylon and Uruk. The remarkable contributions of Epping and Strassmeyer to our knowledge of Ancient Civilization was published in 1881 in a short paper in the Catholic theological journal Stemmen aus Maria Lasch. It was later described by Neugebauer as a masterpiece of a systematic analysis of numerical data of unknown significance. This was positional astronomy of a completely different sort from any other ancient astronomy then known. It differed from the traditions of Ptolemy's Almagest and its descendants in its goals, methods, and in the nature of planetary and lunar theory. Yet the analysis of Babylonian mathematical astronomy led to the realization of its connection to Greek astronomy and by extension to the entire tradition of European astronomy. Indeed, a number of parameters attested in Ptolemy's Almagest and in many astronomical papyri were finally unidentifiable as of Babylonian origin. So this is the footnotes. I don't know, should we read that? It's not there either.
No, I mean,
It's not on the page
in
at
the
all.
footnotes. It's not in the page 22 or page 24. If you want to, maybe give him a chance to, maybe it was an error in, the page. It's not in any of the pages before it or after it. So it's not
As a matter of fact,
accidental.
that entire quote itself, those words just don't exist together.
Correct.
He's-
So it's a bad look. It's a bad look.
Oh yeah, those let me see. Because I don't want for it to be like, well, y'all just read that page, but what if it was somewhere else or anything like that? Because I don't want to give nobody no outs, no way. You can watch me try to type it in. But once I start, it's gonna stop. It's gonna be like we're not finding anything. Oh, okay, well. I don't even have to do that because, this man just texted me and said it's not a quote.
Okay, but in his presentation, let's
He
go
said
back.
it was a quote. He said
Yeah,
she
let's
said
go
it.
back. Yeah, let's go back to the presentation because, regardless of what he texted you, let's look at what he presented.
What he said was, hold on, I can press play. Because you definitely presented this as a quote. And that she said this, and as a matter of fact, you hinged a lot of your whole thing on it.
Not systematic dependence.
Where are we at? Oh, it's a little bit before that.
Okay. Start my time. I'm gonna need you to pause it after this. Here you go. Worshipping celestial bodies or assigning them meaning means they practice photo astrology. Deification is not divination. The deification of the sun and moon reflects religious or mythological cosmology, not systematic divinatory practices. I told you, careful for the bait and switch, like astrology. There is a critical difference between saying the sun is a god, religion, myth, ritual, and saying the sun is in Leo, so you will marry soon.
No. Well, could y'all hear that?
No, well, we heard the first part of it. I don't know if there was more to it. We couldn't hear the last part.
Oh, hold on. Which part didn't you hear?
Just play it again.
With Rosberg, page 23. Yeah, about the heavens. Their religious views of the heavens precedes astronomy, but it's not equivalent to it. Rosberg, page 20. Yes, cosmic deities existed early, but these are religious symbols, not astrological tools. Astrology requires a system of omens, consistent planetary meaning.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he read the
He
quote.
for sure said it as it was a quote. Yeah.
Right. He read the quote. He has quotation marks around it, which, you know, we're going to play the rules of engagement. It's a quote. And then he also cites the last name
Page
of the author
23 too.
and page 23.
Mhm.
So if that's not a quote, then what is it? It quacks like a duck. I must assume it's a duck. So even if he wants to inbox and say it's not a quote per what he said and what was written by him, it's a quote.
And what
So
was presented, because a lot of, yeah, remember when you hinge it on this quote as if it is an actual quote, and it's not, then it's like we're judging you based on this, thinking that you're giving us real information.
correct. So we can go ahead and move on since
We got wait, because wait, there's more. Here's another quote. Here's another quote. This is a quote supposedly by Otto Nugenbayer. The calendar of ancient Egypt is purely astronomical in character. The only apparent astronomical concept is the heliacal rising of Sirius, which obtained its importance only by its closeness to the rising of the Nile, the main event in the life of Egypt. And this was the source by Otto Nugenbauer, The Exact Sciences in Antiquity.
second edition, by the way.
Does that matter? I
Well, I
don't
mean, you
know
put
my
that
last
there.
name.
It should.
That does. Well, why does that matter?
Well, let's see. Is the
Because it
quote
changes.
actually in the book?
Well, we got the second edition.
Yep.
We got it, sir. Hold on. Look at that. Ooh. Second edition. Ooh. It's getting spicy. Yes. YOYAI. Exactly. Okay, so what exact words am I looking for again? Let me put that up over here.
Let me see if I can.
I remember how I found this. I found it by looking at the Nile.
Yeah.
Because half of this quote is actually here. Stop yelling, y'all. All right, here we go. Bam. Can we see this? Is it close enough? Okay, so he was almost correct in his quote. Almost. He added a lot. I think he added the beginning and then he like skipped a bunch of stuff in the middle. So his quote said that there was some stuff before this rising of the Nile.
Yeah, I'll read his quote again from the previous page. I got it here. So let's see if we see that on this book here. His quote is: "The calendar of ancient Egypt is purely astronomical in character. The only apparent astronomical concept is the heliacal rising of Sirius, which," and then he has the three dots, "obtained its importance only by its closeness to the rising of the Nile, the main event in the life of Egypt."
Oh, well, it's
So you
definitely
see,
not purely not astronomical, right?
correct. So the only part there that you see
Is that bottom?
is
So we hear the
correct.
Egyptian calendar is basically non-astronomical. Character is underlined by the fact that the year is divided into three. Hey, it just went a moving. What happened? Stop. Okay. I got you. into 3 seasons of 4 months each. Of purely agricultural significance, the only apparent astronomical concept is the heliacal rising of Sirius, which, however, obtained its importance only by its closest to the rising of the Nile, the main event in the life of Egypt. So,
Correct. So that the bottom, the
the
middle of the
bottom part
bottom
of it
part.
is okay, and the top part of it is not. Right, of his quote.
Yep, and that's the part that says the calendar of ancient Egypt is purely astronomical in character.
In character, yeah, that's not there. That's not there. But however, that other part, you see that here, right here.
Yep.
That's the bottom of his quote. But that top one, the top part of his quote, he just added that for extra emphasis. But he put it in the quotes and acted like it was said, and it is not.
Also, if you notice, his quote had a lot of ellipses in it. And this quote does it directly from the book. There's no need to add your extra ellipsis, but he did. So it's not a direct quote, and you're adding things to it. Also, he's missing a word where it says heliacal rising of Sirius, which ... obtained its importance. The author has which, comma, however, obtained its importance. So it's a
Yeah,
partial
that does
quote.
make it.
It's a partial
That
quote.
does make it makes a little change. A little change in what it was meant and what's meant. Yes, Pseudo. Very Pseudo. Oh, what is this one? This was another Francesca one. I don't know why his AI liked her so much, but I really enjoyed this book. And I really enjoyed that for it because it's none of this stuff is in it. So it says the Omen tradition does not rely on casual mechanisms, but in symbolic correspondence between celestial and terrestrial events. That's just not here. Right. Which sentence should I look up for this?
I mean, the word that stands out there, honestly, is omen tradition.
Oh no, that's definitely not there. Omen tradition is not there. It's not going to be there under that. So we can go look it up. Ready, y'all? Are y'all ready to see the book? Let's see the book. Is the book showing? I know it's not showing yet. Hold on, let me take this
Oh,
down.
yeah, it's a little.
There's the
there you go.
book. All right. This is the first position is said. Okay. So we're looking for our own tradition does not rely on causal mechanisms. Mesopotamia must not only include the important body of sources, but also must take account of the persistent authority of the Omen tradition as evidenced by the continued copying of those texts through the period of late Babylonian astronomy. So that's not that quote. But it's 4 of them, so that's just the first one. So let's go to the next time. It says Omen traditions. Okay. In this one, the sentence says, enough evidence is extant to support a general claim that Mesopotamian scholarly or literary divination had old Babylonian origins, placing the beginnings of the written Omen tradition sometime in the early period of the 2nd millennium. Omen tradition does not rely on no, that's not that. Okay, let's try this one for size. Only after the introduction of the zodiac as 12 signs of 30 degrees each, sometime in the 5th century BC, did changes occur in the classical celestial Omen tradition. Omen tradition does not rely. No, that's not that one. The last one. Drum roll. This might be it. Oh, Nope, that's the
Uh,
source. Ah, that was that was just oh man. That let me down. I at least thought it was a sentence as a source. Woo! 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 That sentence don't exist in this book, sir. It don't exist. It's not there. It's not there. She never said that. You lied. You lied. I read four times that the Omen tradition was mentioned. No time did it say what you said. It said here, right? So it's another pseudo quote. You need to fire your AI. It's getting you fucked up. Okay? So, we got more though. I love it. And listen, thank you for these slides. They were so beautiful. Especially for people who said, I don't read. I don't read. Imagine. Imagine telling me I don't read and you have a whole thing of pseudo sources. I mean, pseudo quotes of real sources. All right. You want to do this top one, Melvin?
yeah. Let's see. There's a
I'll get the
font
book
list.
ready for you.
Yeah. So this one's from Astral Sciences in Mesopotamia by Herman Hunger and David Pingree. The quote is the distinction between astronomy and astrology is more than just a modern imposition. The astronomical texts are essentially observational and computational. You got the book queued up. Can y'all hear me?
I'm just talking.
Oh,
Can't
okay.
nobody hear me.
We can now hear you.
There you go.
All right. Yep. There it is.
So, what are we looking for here? Which words can we try to do that's
I mean,
the
it's
quote?
almost so unfair. Let's just do. I think the last chunk of the sentence really stands out. Let's do that, Bert. Let's see if it
The
pulls up.
astronomy emerged later? Wait.
Now, go back to. Let me see if I can pull that up.
So what he said? This?
Yeah, the do like any part of the historical development of mathematical astronomy. No, not
Okay.
that part. Modern the astronomical texts are essentially observational and computational. That part. You could do observational and computational. See if that pulls up.
That's all right. Observational and computational. Please don't tell me that says that.
Nope. But I do see here it says the diaries are modern source of observational and computed data. But he's not talking about diaries.
There's some meteorological economical. Yeah, that's not saying this though.
No. And that's the only usage of those. Maybe
Yeah, it
that's
is.
unfair. Let's go back and do some of the first part. So I know the first part says, let's see, a modern imposition. Let's see if that part is in there.
Modern
Modern imposition.
Yeah, no. It stopped already.
Can't even get to imposition. That's crazy.
It stopped at imposition.
Couldn't even get to the whole word.
Modern, no. Yeah, no. Stop the imposition. We got modern like 7 times.
What about imposition? Maybe the word imposition is in there by itself. Let's see if that's the case.
Position. Not at all.
Damn. So what did you think to just add a
Damn.
word to a quote? So you know what? This word sounds intellectual. Let's add that.
Oh my god.
This is gonna make the quote hit harder.
It's just not here. It's that quote. The quote doesn't exist, sir. The distinction between astronomy and astrology is more than just a modern imposition. The astronomical texts are essentially observational and computational, AI generated. Not here. It is
Absolutely.
not a real quote from this book. I'm sorry that you got played. Actually, I'm not. I love it because you was talking way too much shit to me for this to be going on these slides. Okay, entirely too much. You, sir. Look, we back in my favorite book, The Heavenly Writing.
Heavenly writings. Yep.
We're back. We're back. Hey, listen, he's gonna get so tired of that book. He is not gonna ever want to see that book again in his life because you misquoted from this book so much in this presentation that she should sue you. Okay.
I mean, for someone who claims to be an atheist, you would think this book would be just grinding his gears as he's reading it. But you know.
You would have to read it.
True. So here's the quote.
Good one.
Horoscopy is a product of the late Babylonian period. There are those ellipses again, not earlier than the 5th century BCE. So let's just shoot for 5th century BCE, the way he has it typed out there.
That's not here. No. Dang. I wanted to have fun. Okay. I mean, it occurs. Century does not. Hold on, y'all. We're going to get you into the book. 1 second.
Well, no, you gotta spell it out. You gotta spell it
Okay,
out. No shortcuts.
No,
Because he caught it.
Okay. Yes. Oh, there's one.
All right, 5th century. But he said BCE. So what about that?
I want to put BCE because, like, what if they do it with a period sometimes? But then
But
sometimes
how did he? So the thing is, how did he put it? He put it with just BCE, no periods.
No periods.
No periods.
B C C. It's a McNo for them, sir.
Okay, so maybe that's just maybe that's a one-off. Let's see.
Horoscopy. Maybe we should try that.
Yeah, let's try that part. Actually, before you try horoscopy, let's just try BCE, just for randomness. Maybe they have BCE somewhere else in there.
It's a McNo.
Not even BCE is in the book?
No.
Okay. All right, so yeah, let's go back to the beginning. Let's do horoscopy is a product. Let's try that. If you're talking, we can't hear you. My brother Lavelle saying an atheist without a green card. That's funny. Oh, she dropped off. She dropped off a bit. Maybe she'll come back. Let me see if I can share my screen until she gets back. Let's see. All right, I think she's back. Okay, you're back.
Yes, it's
All
raining.
right. Yeah, same here. So yeah, I wanted to see if um, Horoscopy is a product is in there. Now Horoscopy is in there, so we don't have to lose all hope yet.
We got but no, because it's not. Because look, like look at this. It's only in there twice. Horoscopy is in there twice. Just those two words together is only in there twice.
Consequently remote and to be understood. Okay, so where did he get product from? So he must have added that in there, or maybe AI added that in there.
Yeah,
We saw that BCE was not even in there, so you know.
it's not saying that. We got this. The period in which Babylonian horoscopes emerged, 5th century BC, was a formative period in the history of Babylonian celestial science. Had he read the book, he probably could have quoted that
Yeah,
and
yeah.
actually had a quote.
That with that, absolutely.
I fell off, Jai. I mean, what can we do?
All right, so
So,
we did that. I think
so
the
that's
more
not
he
a quote
keeps,
either.
I'm willing to bet his AI, probably Chat GPT liked it, the heavenly writing, just because it's mentioned several times. So, but he hasn't gotten the book. So my tip would be to get the book.
Yes, please. The same thing you was trying to tell us to do. Read. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go to the next one. Jay, because the thing is this. You quoted so much, like more than half of this presentation was quotes. More than half was quotes. And I ain't seen a quote yet that you got right. You halfway got one right, almost, which is crazy that I'm trying to give you that because you're supposed to be a pseudo killer, but yet still you over here being pseudo. I'm not understanding. I don't understand. I got a whole video. I'm a child. I'm this. I'm that. I'm all of this. Why should you have to answer to me? Answer to the books. Like this one, The History and Practice of Ancient Astronomy. Dang, do I have that book? Oh, yes, I do. Because I know Melvin. Get you a Melvin. James Evans. Melvin's like, what the heck? The historian of science. In Mesopotamia, the distinction between astronomy and astrology can already be seen in the first millennium BCE. Millennium. Astronomical, what does that say? Ephemeres were mathematical and predictive, not symbolic.
Yep.
Ooh, that sounds deep.
It does. It does. Let's see if it's in the book. He's got them big words. Let's see. Those big words should be in the book, right?
I would hope so. I mean, we gotta find one.
At least one.
You got me rooting for you now. God dang! I just you let AI do you dirty, bro. So we got the book here. It's called The History and Practices of Ancient Astronomy, and it is by James Evans. That's who it's written by. So let's just look for some words here. This
Let's
is
do astronomical
ephemeral. What is
if let's see, ephemerides. Let's just say that that's what that is. I probably butchered it.
Ooh, it's already stopped me.
So ephemerides is EPHEMERIDS. Okay. All right, so
It's
yeah,
no Sasaki.
it's not taking
You know what
that.
that means in English? I mean, in English it means it's not here. No Sasaki. It's no doesn't. It's just not there. Maybe I can take astronomical out. Is this
Yeah,
long as word in there? Just this word by
that's
itself?
the
Ooh, it's in there.
ephemerides.
It's in there 10 times. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we got a little bit of luck here. Maybe it's not, astronomical. Maybe it's just astronomy. Let's see. Okay, so you have in Babylonian mathematical astronomy, there were two important classes of text: ephemerides and procedure text. No, that's not the quote.
Right. What was the quote again? The quote
The
is
quote is in
astronomical
Mesopotamia.
ephemeриdes were
Okay,
mathematical and predictive.
not symbolic. That's the second half.
So this is something about
Oh, there's
modern
another one.
examples of,
Thus, the most of the progress is understanding the theory has come from the close study of the ephemerides, the rules of computation inferred from an ephemeris is no, that's not there. Okay, thus multiple. No, that's not it. Where is astronomical?
Right, astronomical ephemeриdes were mathematical and predictive.
Yeah, I'm not even seeing mathematical and predictors. It's looking bad. Like ephemerides is in here, so
10 times.
you know, I got
Mm, mm. We all the way back here.
all the way
Oh,
back to the
dang it.
sources for the footnotes.
Guess
Still
what, buddy? It's no, it's that's a key. ¿Por qué no?
So I think that's another AI kind of saw a fancy word and said, "Hey, let's put this in the quote," but it's not there. It's not there. Yep, I'm seeing only a few distinctions here.
It's 3 distinctions. None of them say the distinction between astronomy and astrology, though. This is by blurring the distinction in order to streamline the analysis. This is talking about retrograde. Ptolemy, as an Alexandrian, had the distinction of being amongst the most southerly of all the astronomers in the Greek tradition. And he identifies the 2 causes that necessitate this distinction: the obliquity of the ecliptic and the solar eccentricity. So, sir, once again, and I mean once again, this top one don't exist. It's not in the book. It's not in the book. We have went through. This is the 6th slide of yours, and we have only found half a quote on one slide. Terrible. This is terrible. Y'all, as much shit that y'all was talking about, people not reading, and for me to not find anything yet of yours that's real, what are we talking about? Like, what is going on? Did you say something to me ever? Can you? What? Do we have this book? What's the next book?
Yep, that we
The
were
Exact
just in that
Sciences
book.
into Antiquity. Oh Lord. Oh, why they got the book? I know you probably hate libraries at this point. Like, oh my goodness, they're just tearing my stuff up.
This
And,
is
and,
bad.
Ian- and Ian,
This is really bad.
for it to be so many. You didn't think it was gonna be this many, did you, Tim?
No, no, not at all.
A couple of
There's
misquotes.
there's
Okay.
just more and more and more.
The
Like,
entire presentation of misquotes is crazy. Oh, I can't breathe. I'm sorry. Melvin, you want to do next?
So yeah, I'll read this one. It is clear that mathematical astronomy, as it developed in the Seleucid period, had no need for astrological interpretation. It was a self-contained scientific system. And that's we just went through uh Neugebauer book of the exact sciences of antiquity, volume 2. So uh I'm looking here for the word the Seleucid, and I see it in here a few times. Um, let me see if I can share my screen here.
You got it? I was gonna say,
Oh,
because I can share it. I got it up there.
you got it? Okay.
Melvin, I queued up every book you gave me. It's here. It's just already here. Look, bam. I even got the words in already for you.
Good.
Oh, just take it down and boom, there we go.
All right. So here's his quote. I'm gonna pull up his quote here. It says, "It is clear that mathematical astronomy, as it developed in the Seleucid period, had no need for astrological interpretation. It was a self contained scientific system." Well, you have 18 versions, 18 copies of that word in the book. Let's
Yeah.
see if any of those are in this quote.
Oh, well, we got in this period. So we got this sentence. The only difference. Okay. It says wait, this appears, however, in both mathematical and astronomical cuneiform texts of the Seleucid period, as we shall see in later examples.
So that almost fit, but not quite, because he said mathematical astronomy, but we're not talking about. He didn't talk about cuneiform text in the quote, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, he's trying to say that what? That it had no need for astrological interpretation.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
self-contained. He says. He said self-contained without quotations. That sounds like it would be in quotations.
Nevertheless, the sexagismal notation is rarely applied with the strictness with which it appears in the cuneiform text of the Seleucid period in Mesopotamia.
Nah.
That's not that it. So, what's this say? The reciprocals of the irregular numbers appear abbreviated to 3 or 4 places only, but the real expansion came in the Seleucid period. Mm-mm. Um, it is clear that mathematical astrology, as it's developed in the Seleucid period, had no need. Okay, so that's his thing. This is saying, this is confirmed by many other examples of the use and problem texts of the same age, as well as from the Seleucid period. That's not it either. Which show an inference from Saturn, the Seleucid period. That's not it either. Then, before entering the discussion of the Seleucid period, a few remarks about our source material and its provenance will be necessary. That's not it either. Wait, hold on. I'm like, I almost saw mathematical and astronaut, but that's not even. They don't say that. Dang.
No.
Because much more accurate methods were known in the Seleucid period, it is plausible to assume no. The number of available astronomical tablets from the Seleucid period is not at all large. Look, there's that word ephemerides again.
Yep.
Man. Oh man, this is just it's like when are you going to get a quote correct? Both these ancestors are known from colophones or other tablets of the Seleucid period. 12. Once again, tablets of the Seleucid period. Jake. Okay, this is it's not even a quote.
Eclipses. Nah, that's not it.
The eclipses during, namely by careful investigation of the latitude. No. Boy.
We
This
down
is
to the
a
last four,
source.
y'all. We
Right. Hellenistic astronomy to the Babylonian methods of the Seleucid period.
all right, we got two more.
Uh,
Okay, there's astronomy.
only for the Seleucid period in Mesopotamia. Wait, as we explained in chapter 5, almost all documents concerning astronomy in Mesopotamia belong to the same period.
All right.
Oh.
These last two, it looks like this
One of the
ain't it.
criteria is the arrangement of the planets in the cuneiform text in the Seleucid period. The standard arrangement is Jupiter, Venus. What? No, that's not on here. Last one. Cedrick. We're rooting for you, buddy. Ah! It didn't
Not
happen.
horoscopes.
The remaining cuneiform horoscopes belong to the Seleucid period. This is crazy.
Dang it.
This is real crazy.
Again, I think it's one of those words where AI is like, look, I see this here. Let me make something up real quick. So, yeah, it's a darn shame, I must say.
I can't deal with this. You have no. You know how many? Do y'all know how many? I got 5 more slides. I got 5 more slides, bro. You ain't had one source right yet. Not one quote. Not one nothing right this entire time, my guy. And this is just a disclaimer for all of those out there. I am not debating this topic. This is not about the topic. It's not about the debate. It's not about who won or lost. That's done. That's over with, right? What this is about is the fact that this man who wrote these out and presented them said, I and Hemi and Mel and Tiff and everybody that's a barbarian don't read. And had the audacity to drop one of these slides in a group and tell us to read it and understand it. And when we went to the source he put on it and read it, we found discrepancies. There were problems. And so therefore we had to go look at the rest of them. And now look at what we find. An entire slideshow of issues of pseudo quotes.
Yeah,
so we're just going to keep going.
It just really shows whatever method he's using. Actually, not even just the method, himself, because even if you are using AI, you're supposed to vet. At least get the book, make sure it says it in there, do the work. But it really shows that his method of research is unreliable. Just because here you have these quotes that are supposed to support your stance in a debate, and it's not credible. So it's a bad look.
Super bad. Michael Jackson bad. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not really done though. We got more. So should we keep going? Should we ask the crowd? Y'all want us to keep going? I got 5 more slides.
Yeah, we could keep going. Put a one in the chat if y'all want us to keep going. We really could go all the way through this.
It's been an hour. It's been an hour of nonstop pseudo quotes. Nonstop. Not one, not two, like a, a million. Okay. And there's somebody who want to go roll around, tramps it around, calling themselves a pseudo killer, right? They just need to go ahead and pseudo themselves on up out of here. They a pseudo killer, yet you the one showing the pseudo sort, and you didn't read. And had the audacity to call somebody roaches, talking about we want some clout. You wanted some clout off these authors that you was faking like you was quoting, and you wasn't.
My
This
my
is this
my
is
thing
nothing but
is how can you prepare for a debate like this with confidence that you're gonna win? You know, I know the debate happened or whatever it was, but when I prepare for a debate, I leave no room on the table. I want to make sure all my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted. I don't need my opponent picking apart, my research. So nobody should be able to pick it apart after the debate's over. And this is just it's bad. It's just really bad ethics.
Mel, that's because you're a barbarian and you know how to debate. You know how to research.
right.
That's
We have resources. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
We on your second round. We done with round one. We just finished round one. Okay. Round one had 6 slides of pseudo sources. I mean, not pseudo sources, real sources, pseudo quotes. So, what I mean by pseudo quotes, these sources are absolutely amazing. They're really good for what they're actually trying to say. Roosevelt
LaBelle
is crazy.
tripping.
Right. So these sources are really good for what they're trying to say. What they're not good for is what he's trying to make them say. Right. And he's having a real source, but adding a quote from there that's not real. Right. And so that's where we're having this issue at. With him, and this is my issue because you said that we couldn't read, and I'm stuck on that because you clearly didn't read nothing you presented. Did you read? You couldn't have.
Yeah,
So
it's bad. It's bad.
we're on the second round. This is his second round in his debate. Once again, not debating the topic here. We don't care. We're not doing the topic. We're not talking about if he won or lost. We're not talking about any of that. What I'm picking apart is his research, and the quotes that you put on here were not real. You go to these books, they do not say what you said they say. Period.
All right. So this one here
In a
looks
book
like
you had looked up, Mel. Um, with
so this one
Nicholas.
here,
Yeah.
the quote at the very bottom, because uh, it says historian Nicholas Campion notes, astrology in its origins was not a rival to astronomy, but a metaphysical application of astronomical data. So that's one of the sources where he didn't even cite where he got it from, at least not on this slide, especially with the slide labeled round two. It's not on this slide where he got it from. Uh, I actually looked, and you don't have to take my word for it. Definitely do your research and go look for that exact quote. You won't find it. It doesn't exist in any of his work. One of the books we looked at earlier, he's in it, and he doesn't say that. And some of his other works that he has that came after that you will find that quote. So, for this one, it's a challenge to Cedrick, let us know where you got that quote from. If you don't know, it's okay. We assume you got it from AI. AI tends to not provide sources unless you command it to. So, this is another AI thing, providing random quotes without evidence. So, were you able to find this one, Denise? If you're talking, we can't hear you. Oh my, so maybe having some technical issues here.
I told you, man, it's the rain.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
Falls mainly in the plains. I did not find this one.
gotcha. Okay, just want to make sure uh, somebody else maybe had a different set of luck with that. So, yeah, we can't find this one. If you could tell us who it's from, we'll pull up some of
You
his
can
work.
tell us.
I have some of
You trying to make them spaz out
champions work.
again.
you know. Uh, so here's the second slide. Uh, that book, Handbook of Archeo Archaea Astronomy, that's the book where the previous person he quoted is in there, which is Nicholas Campion. He's in that book, which he didn't put the full title of the book, but he's in that book, and he doesn't say what was said. So I did check to see if that was the case. So I'm gonna read this one while she gets the book up. The quote is from Clive Ruggles. The actual proper uh, title of the book, because like I said, he left some of that off. Let me pull that up here on my end. There it is. You got it. Handbook of Archaeo Astronomy and Ethno Astronomy. How you gonna leave off the rest of the title? That's just ghetto.
Because he didn't even look it up. He just took it.
Yeah.
He took AI's word for it. You got me right, AI bestie.
Bestie.
We best friends. We gonna get that doctor, aren't we?
Yeah. So this quote here says, across cultures, early astronomy was observational and practical, concerned with timekeeping and seasons. Astrology as symbolic interpretation of human affairs based on celestial events emerged later and separately. So that's the quote.
Hmm. Celestial events.
Yep. So what did you want to
What would
look
you
up
want to
with
look up
this one?
here? Because I'm thinking human affairs based on the emerge later, blah, blah, blah. There's these lines through it that really be making me like, I don't think is it's hard to see like what exactly um what's exactly going on.
Let's see.
We're looking up observational, maybe.
Yeah, let's start with observational
Observational
and
what?
practical. Yeah, let's do that.
There's observational and impractical.
Yeah.
Observational and practical. Ooh, they gave me a big fat zero. Oh yeah, hold on. I thought y'all
Yeah,
could see me.
you gotta show your screen there.
There it goes.
Okay, I see observational and predictive. But that's a title.
Hmm.
But not observational and practical.
That's 122.
Yeah, this is a big book. 2,000 pages.
Yeah, I know. When I first saw it, I said, "Oh my goodness, this book is huge."
All right, so
Oh,
observational
symbolic
practical didn't
interpretation.
work. I was gonna go to that. Yep, let's do that. Let's see if that works.
Symbolic. At any time, thank you. I was trying to save you, Cedric, but we're fighting it.
I saw the symbolic representation, but that ain't what the quote says.
I'm saying symbolic interpretation, and that's not there either. Cedric, you're making this hard.
Yeah, it's like another direct quote here. Let's do another
Oh,
part.
You say my name, honey?
huh?
Let's do cross cultures, comma early astronomy. Maybe the beginning is in there.
You said cross culture.
Across cultures,
Oh, I'll put
comma.
emerge later. That wasn't it. Okay.
Okay.
Culture, comma. No. It's across cultures.
Okay. Let's see if it's in there.
We're still in the references. Hold on. Are they all in the references? Please, bro. Oh no. Oh
We
come
just went
on.
through half. Just went through half of them right there, and they all look like they're in the references.
They're all in the references. Oh man. We need a drum roll. Come on, 22.
Last one.
References.
References. So cross
Bro.
cultures, even in the book as a quote or a part of the writings that all these writers composed and put together, it's all in the references. All right,
Sir,
so
what?
that's crazy.
That wasn't even where are we at? Because it's been so many. Getting it. We down to round 2. Okay. Woo.
Yep.
This slaughter is almost we ain't got no body to cut up anymore. So this entire quote, first of all, cross cultures is nowhere in the book written. It's
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Solid the reference. The only time the book says across cultures is when it's mentioning another book.
It's just pitiful. Just pitiful. Now do this. Do
He
this
needs
because I
to
want to.
write a mean, angry letter to AI. You got me clowned.
Now do this for me. Type in Clive Ruggles in the book, and
In the
you'll
book?
see a section dedicated to him that's in the handbook.
You said it's in the handbook?
Yeah, in the handbook of archaeoastronomy and what is the last part here?
I put his name in. Now, where you want me to go to?
Astronomy.
Can you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
see
Show,
it?
yeah, show in the beginning. Okay, no, go back to like the beginning of the book because it talks about him. He has like his own section.
This one?
No, try to go. Let me see if I can pull it up for you. Oh no, he's on the cover. My bad.
The cover?
Yeah, he's on the cover of the book.
This?
There you go. He's the editor. Yep. So he's on there. That's his book. So, even though he didn't quote the entire book title, it is that book. So it's the right book. You can't say, "Oh, it's the wrong handbook of archaeoastronomy." It's the
Oh
right
no,
one.
this is it. This is it, buddy. This the one you pseudo quoted. Hmm.
Yep.
I can't believe it. Actually, I can. I don't think you read. Look,
So
we back at Francesca.
exactly. Like
I
again.
love this book, huh?
He need to change his name from pseudo killer to pseudo filler. It didn't make no sense.
At all.
The more we do it, the more people like. I'll be really seriously, bro. Like,
It's
no,
bad.
for real. You gotta stop. You have got to be stopped. This gotta be crazy. This is crazy.
So yeah, this is his favorite source, which again, uh, so far he's been striking out with the quotes from this book. He dare gives us another one. So let's see if this is in there. While you getting that queued up, I'm gonna read the quote again from Francesca Rothberg, heavily writing divination, horoscopy, and astronomy and Mesopotamian culture. Here he says page 36. So definitely get page 36 queued up. It says,
Lord.
it is incorrect to assume that astrology and astronomy were indistinguishable in antiquity. The production of astronomical knowledge was conceptually and practically distinct from divinatory practice, even in Mesopotamia. So that's the quote. You got a page
On page
36.
36. Indeedy. Indubitably. Dun, dun, dun. I can guarantee it's not here, but we can we can try it.
So yeah, let's read page 36. It definitely isn't there. But let's look for a particular section. So it is incorrect to assume that astrology and astronomy were indistinguishable in antiquity. That's a whole sentence. Is that sentence on this page?
We can just try to find it, I guess.
Well, no,
It's,
just scroll down because if you try to
it's
search,
like, no, listen, we can go look.
yeah, it's gonna take you all over the
Correct
place.
to assume. I mean, we all know I could just read this whole page. Any investigation of the intellectual context of the exact sciences in ancient Mesopotamia must give due consideration to the ways in which disciplinary boundaries may have been conceived, in particular, whether such boundaries existed, for example, between astronomy and astrology, in any way akin to our own. We turn here from an epistemological problem regarding the nature of astronomical knowledge to one of the motivations and goals of astronomy. The two concerns are closely connected inasmuch as the attribution of religious motive and the consequent theological conceptualization of the celestial phenomena. For example, as manifestations of deities have been taken as evidence for a non-rational mode of thought about the world of phenomena as discussed in subsection 121. Behind that, the charge that Babylonian astronomy was unscientific or pseudoscientific were both the influences of the conflict model of the relation between science and religion, and also the evolutionary scheme that put ... science as a later development. What is he saying? It's saying
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, and I'm not seeing it. Like
anyway. On this page.
like how we did page 23 from the same book. I'm not seeing it on page 35 or page 37. So yeah, uh, yeah, I'm not seeing that.
They don't even have astrology and astronomy at the top of this at all.
No,
Like just those words at all. Period. That's why I read
even if
the
you go back to
paragraph
35,
here that has astronomy and astrology, but it doesn't say that.
even if you go back to 35, to the end of 35, where it says 1.2.2,
Mhm.
it's not there. That's the beginning of the section. So yeah, it's the same book where he said page 23, and that wasn't in here. So a few pages down, page 36 ain't in here. It's looking bad. Like he keeps striking out at the plate.
He
Like,
needs
just go
to
sit
just
down.
leave Francesca alone. She didn't ask to be in this position.
Not at all. Not at
To
all.
keep just being lied on like this is crazy.
Not at all. So let's try. Let's see. What's a good thing here? Let's do indistinguishable in antiquity. Let's do that.
Yes.
So indistinguishable in antiquity.
Indistinguishable's in here twice.
Okay.
I can
Well,
stop right
it's not
there.
this one, so maybe it's the second.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. I want to take bets. Who think it's the second one? It ain't. Wrong.
Okay. So again, another scenario where clearly AI misled him and he didn't read the book. So yeah,
You
that
ain't
that
read nothing. Hey, bro, you got nothing right. Nothing right? Absolutely nothing right? Bro, you need to apologize to everybody. You need to start with us.
Suedo.
Suedo. Super Suedo.
so here's another quote from the same
On
book.
the same book.
So he's already struck out like 5 times from this book, and he has another quote from this book. And look at the title, y'all. Like let's step back, you know, and look at the title. What does the title say in all caps and bold font, y'all?
Misuse
Misuse
of
of scholars.
scholars is pseudo.
Is
He's
that not
pseudo. He's beyond pseudo.
sweet? Is that not what we see in here? Like Francesca clearly put her time to put this book together, and all these quotes are not from her or people that are referenced in her book, but you're citing them as her. And I would hate for her to be watching and be like, yeah, no. But yeah, it's just sad. But let's do this. So while I do this one, you can search for combination of words. But the quote is same book, The Heavenly Writing of Divination, Horoscopy, and Astronomy in Mesopotamian Culture. Whether or how to differentiate between astrology and astronomy is strictly a matter of convenience. When describing the content of a text from the cuneiform corpus of celestial science, I apply these terms strictly for descriptive convenience, without further implication that such a native classification existed. So, what do you got put up? I think that part where it says I apply these terms, I think that may be her speaking right there. So let's see if we can pull that up.
Mm-hmm. I found it. Oh my God, he might have a winner.
Okay,
Let's see. He
okay,
might. He might actually have a winner.
okay. So the quote he said, I'll read his first. I apply these terms strictly for descriptive convenience, without further implication
It's-
that such a native classification existed. But he ended it at the comma. Now we all know grammar. You don't end the sentence at the comma, but much less of any of its connotations in the book
Connotations.
is important because
Right.
that's her making a point. All right. So what about the first part? Because so he got the second part of the quote. Uh, so the first part says
It's at the top.
whether or how to differentiate between astrology and astronomy is strictly a matter of convenience. Uh, do you see convenience in there
It's
on
right
that
here.
page?
It's at the top. He
Okay,
put this stuff together. He skipped like the whole middle.
wait a minute. Wait. And it's the preface. Hold on.
Yes, it's the purpose. Yeah.
Time out. Time out. So let's just read what she says. Let's just read what she says. Do me a favor. Go up to the end of the previous page. Is there more to that?
Um. Yeah. So
Nah.
she,
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that she was doing in this book, because we have Nogenbauer's book as well that we
Yep.
quoted from. A lot of people she doesn't agree with. So she'll say that these people will say X Y Z, but I think differently. I'm going to show that in this chapter and that chapter. She does that a lot in the preface of this book,
That's
where she talks about
interesting.
these other people and what they focused on and what they're going to do. And then she'll say, but I see it this way.
So that's interesting because, you know, somehow Cedric thought it would be nice to put their arguments together. While she may not disagree on certain parts, clearly you relied heavily on this book than to put up sources from someone she clearly disagrees with in the same presentation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But okay, let's read this part of the preface because the middle part clearly must be, I would say, imperative for him to feel like, okay, that doesn't go with my argument. Let me just, copy and paste, clip this out, and then mash it
Yeah,
together.
so he
Like,
did
like,
this sentence right here.
okay,
He skipped all of this and then went down to this sentence here. So, like, from there are no native okay. All of this is missing that I have
that's a
highlighted.
huge chunk. Okay, so let's read it. I'm gonna read it all the way down to where it says where he didn't finish the sentence, where it says much less of any connotations. So I'm gonna read that part. So
Okay.
it
Can
says
you see it?
whether or how to differentiate between astrology and astronomy is strictly a matter of convenience. When describing the content of a text from the cuneiform corpus of celestial science, this is where he's missing this part, there are no native Akkadian counterparts to the terms astrology, astrologia, or astronomy, astronomia. Even the distinction between these terms, as applied from late antiquity through the Middle Ages, varied from one author to another and did not necessarily imply a difference in status, such as we make between science and magic. Uh oh, I see something. For the present purposes, then, if a text contains forecast of a mundane events, it is astrological. Otherwise, it is astronomical. I apply these terms strictly for descriptive convenience, without further implication that such a native classification existed, much less any of its connotations. Now, that blue
Now,
part,
that did make a big difference.
that made a big difference because wasn't that a part of the debate
Mhm.
position that they had? They both had a position in a debate, and this middle part, the blue part that she has highlighted, I
Ooh,
don't think that would
especially right
agree with his
here.
position.
They said very important and did not necessarily imply a difference in status, such as we make between science and magic. She
That-
did not agree with you at all. What?
So you do the tap and screw on her work.
What?
Like how disrespectful. But look at what he says
Look
on
at
his
this.
quote.
This
Look what
is
he
his
says
quote.
below the quote. The below the quote says she clearly states that the categories of astrology and astronomy were not used by the ancients in the way we use them today. Her usage is modern for scholarly evidence, not a historical assertion that the two were ever scientifically united in the modern sense. But she
Meanwhile, she's saying
disambiguated,
exactly that.
right, and she disambiguated that currently in present purposes, if it mentions forecast of mundane events, it's astrological. Otherwise, it's astronomical. So she's understanding the difference between the two, but telling you between the late antiquity through the Middle Ages, it varied. And it did not
And that it didn't
necessarily have
necessarily
a difference.
imply a difference in status that we make between science and magic. She said it was no
Which,
difference in status. You're saying she's saying it's definitely a difference in status because of the way that you chopped and screwed her words. You took
which,
out that
ladies,
part.
which, ladies and gentlemen, had he included that middle section, the proper quote within context in his debate, it would have hurt his argument. Because clearly that is not the position he has, even though he relies heavily on this author through the entire presentation. That is what I classify as equivalent to fraud. That is him pretty much plagiarizing her work in a sense because he's not using the full text as she intended. And go back to his slide. His slide says misuse of scholars is pseudo, and that's literally what he did with this quote.
He was
Let
telling.
alone all the other quotes, but specifically with this quote. He specifically misused her entire point in that preface.
He was prophesying, Mia. That's what he was doing. He was telling us what he was doing in real time. We just do it. We know else who did that before. They was tricking us the whole time.
Goodness.
Wow.
This,
To name the slide this while doing it is crazy.
his whole premise is is built on this woman's writings and teachings, and she disagrees totally with it. That is crazy.
Totally. Her whole story, every time I'm reading through this, right? When I'm reading, trying to find these things, everything is going against what he's saying. Even her saying, he said that she said something about that. She agreed that the heavens and stuff had nothing to do with this. That's not in here either. They said it was totally no difference. It's ridiculous. Like this stuff here, you cannot have the mouth that you have and the attitude that you have, your entire team, and you come with this and get to talking to us crazy. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, this is the it's almost like the final blow. I know we got
Dumb ways to die.
yeah.
Ways to die.
Right. Because it's 1,000 ways to die. Why the fuck try? Yes.
So yeah, that's huge right there. To do that even in your debate, whether or not we agree with your position or not isn't important. But the fact that the author who you heavily relied on clearly disagrees with your stance, and to use them is just preposterous. Like, I can't believe he did that.
It's only 2 more slides, y'all.
So yeah, let's get through these here. Also, look at this here, scholarly clarification. He says again, he references Rothsberg again. He just needs to leave her alone. Like, don't even mess with her book if you can't even properly quote it. So, but he did another quote from James Evans' book, The History and Practice of Ancient Astronomy. Go ahead and get that one queued back up.
I like how he keeps using the same ones.
Right, but to make it look like he's actually reading the book, but he's not. Or in this case, maybe he grabbed that section and decided to just chop and screw and make it work. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
make
Maybe
it say what he said.
Right.
Don't.
I don't want to blame that on AI. Maybe that's an AI thing. It's possible, but that's a huge offense. But so the quote here from James Evans is Babylonian astronomy was primarily mathematical and observational, while astrology was religious and prognostic. they coexisted, but were conceptually distinct. So let's see if James says that in his book here about astrology being religious and prognostic.
Okay, so I got the hold on, I got the book up here. Oh, is it ancient astronomy, right?
Yep, you got it. Okay, so that's the book. So let me go back to the quote on my end.
Religious.
So the quote was astrology. Just put astrology was religious. You got 16 versions of religious, so let's do astrology was.
No,
Okay.
that big
Uh,
fat zero.
take out astrology was and put religious and prognostic. Let's try that. Because religious was in there. So let's try that.
Yeah, religious was in there 16 times.
So religious and
I
prognostic.
have no faith in him at this point.
Yeah, after that last
The
the last
beginning,
one,
but
absolutely.
it's like, dang, like then when we do find stuff in the book, you done made up your own quote. Nope, no that's a key.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we got here, we got religious practice.
What about if you just prognostic is a peculiar word? What if you just search prognostic? Does the word even exist in the book?
We use the word peculiar. That's so cute. Prognostic. I see prognostications. Redicus
Yeah,
could not resist throwing in some astrological prognostications of his own.
what about prognosis? I did see prognosis earlier. You just do prognosis. Yeah, okay, I see prognosis there, but it's only one.
Mm-hmm.
So that word specifically is not in there. Not in,
No.
in the variations aren't in there enough. So yeah,
How
that's
about
another case.
I don't. He couldn't have tried. Coexisted isn't in here at all.
Dang.
When it says they coexisted but were conceptually distinct, but it's not in here at all. That word coexisted. Period is not here. What were you smoking when you put this together?
Yeah, at this point, like I wouldn't trust him for anything. I wouldn't even trust the Daily News from this guy. They'll tell me about what happened down the street. I don't care. Because I need to go get it from a reputable source. You're
All
not
right,
reputable.
so I'm gonna put the link in the chat just in case
Yeah.
anybody else wants to come talk to us about it. I do have just one more slide. If you wanted to, this was Karl Popper.
Yeah, Carl Parker. Let's do this one. This is the last one. And so we'll go ahead and do that. And I want to read his last quote. That's his quote.
Of
So we'll
himself.
do, yeah, himself.
Okay,
That,
good.
that clearly isn't Karl Popper talking about an opponent. So
Well,
Karl
why did you
Popper's,
put it in?
huh?
I'm like, why did you put it in quotes?
I don't know. Like he doesn't use quotes properly, doesn't separate, okay, when he's talking versus when the author's talking. Quite frankly, the author isn't talking to somebody, so it's like, it's weird.
Yeah, the author hasn't talked yet. I just want him to know that.
Except in like one or two cases where he chopped and screwed it.
Chopped and screwed. We're talking about Cedrick Ortega of the Pseudo-Killers. That is Cedrick Ortega of the Pseudo-Killers. That's whose information we're tearing apart today.
Pseudo filler. He's not a pseudo.
Yeah, pseudo filler. He we're looking at his last debate,
Quote. Oh yeah, the last debate that just happened.
and these are his slides where he rely heavily on these quotes from these authors that are all pseudo quotes. They are real authors, real books. These quotes don't exist in the book. And the ones that we do find like half of, he's like manufacturing them. He's taking out parts that, don't agree with him and putting stuff together. I don't know if he did it. I don't know if he just got it from AI, but whatever it is, it's trash work. He didn't read. He didn't vet. He didn't do anything that he claims everybody else doesn't do.
Yeah. Let's do this last one, and then if anybody wants to hop on, including Cedrick, including
I sent you guys the links.
including the pseudo killers, well, specifically Cedrick and Ock. The other pseudo killers aren't necessarily welcome, but Cedric and Ock, yeah. But let's read this one. This is he said as philosopher of science, Karl Popper stated. This is in Karl Popper's book, which he didn't even cite. Well, they did at the end of the quote. Conjectures and Refutations book. So while she's getting that one queued up, I'll read the quote. Quote says, astrology is not falsifiable. The fact that astrology does not change in response to failed predictions is the very reason why it is a pseudoscience. So let's see if Popper agrees.
Alrighty. Oh, I could just drop this now. I like that little thing. I'm gonna use that more often. This is his book. Karl Popper. I just want to let y'all know this is the actual book, we ain't playing with you. You should have known not to mess with us. We have a librarian barbarian. I just don't understand. We got somebody.
But all right, let's get through this and then they can
astrology is not falsifiable.
Yeah, let's look for that one.
I was looking for it. I'm just talking. Trying to find a word to look for. Falsifiable. That ain't it. Okay, here we go. It's only in here 3 times. I merely should have to admit not only testable or falsifiable statements among the empirical ones, but also statements which may in principle be empirically verified. What are we saying that he said?
So he said, astrology is not falsifiable.
Oh, that sentence isn't here. I remember.
And he put the ellipsis, which makes me think he may have chopped and screwed that. But
yeah.
So what about pseudoscience? That's
my next one.
But make sure we spell it the way he spelled it, which you did, and it's only in there once.
So here it's got a hyphen, but it's still here.
Yep. So his says the fact that astrology does not change in response to failed predictions is why the very reason why it is a pseudoscience. So that's not what that's actually pseudoscience is. Try spelling it the way they did with the hyphen. Let's see if anything else comes up, because that's only one.
Oh, yeah, 9.
Okay, so remember it says failed predictions is the very reason why it is a pseudoscience.
No, that says my problem was different. I wanted to distinguish between science and pseudoscience, knowing very well that science often errs and that pseudos may happen to stumble upon the truth. So that's not it. Maybe right here. I knew, of course, most widely accepted answer to my problem that science is distinguished from pseudoscience, but from medical physics by its empirical method. Oh, no, that's not it either. Okay, 4. This case of astrology nowadays, a typical pseudoscience, may illustrate this point. It was attacked by the Aristotelians. Another rationalist. Hmm? No.
This makes it quite clear that valid induction was here meant to serve as a criterion of demarcation between science and pseudoscience. No,
This is
most
pseudoscience
likely
is.
science is. Yep, nope, that doesn't count.
Well, both pseudoscience is. And the last one.
Okay. I can only look with apprehension upon social pseudoscience. No. So, yep, that's not in there. Falsifiable didn't pop up but a few times. He said failed predictions is the reason. Let's see if we can find failed predictions. And
I
then
was ready
after
to
that,
call it. You lied. No. I'm just- no.
okay. So, yeah, clearly he just didn't do the research. Clearly he didn't.
Wait, I want to show y'all that it wasn't there.
Okay.
It was still up. Hold on. Failed predictions. Ah, man. No, it's not the key. Okay. You lied.
Yeah, it's just sad. So, Cedrick Ortega is unreliable with research. Clearly, he didn't read the work. You know,
You're on my wall. Yes, I brought it back. We have chopped it up. Your head, your whole body's up there at this point. I think me and Melvin have definitely just finished you off here. You're done.
So I think I learned two important things here.
Okay.
One is to vet your sources and read them yourself. And two is don't tell the barbarians that they can't read.
Yeah, that I don't know what made them confident in that one. That was crazy. Y'all did a whole live. They spent 5 hours trying to convince him that because he believes in the Bible, he's crazy or something, or he's slow and he can't read. Mm, 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 mm. Where's the funeral music?
Y'all
We are
putting the link in
gathered
the
here
chat?
today. Huh?
Y'all putting the link in the chat?
I put it in there.
Oh, nobody wants to
Any
come play
brave
with us?
soul who wants to come and play.
We don't bite.
Not
We
all
might
of us.
throw a little sand, but we don't bite.
I'm not biting today. I'm finding this extremely exciting.
yeah, I just feel like you don't have to do that to argue your point. There's more honorable ways to argue your point. Definitely don't rely on AI. AI is fun to experiment with, but don't rely on it. Like Tiff said, do the work. Don't be lazy. Don't be intellectually lazy.
AI only as smart as its user, man. Simple as
That's
that.
crazy. My son said this. Like my son said the same thing. He's like, I gotta know how to ask it a question.
Yeah. If you train it properly and ask it to be honest and stuff like that, and you know how to do research, it'll force it to do it in that manner. But when you a pseudo filler, it's gonna the same way that you do. It's gonna breeze through names, books, quotes, and say whatever it feels like you want it to say. And now that's why we have what we have.
Yeah, so the pseudo killers definitely are probably going to address this. Make sure y'all address Captain Pseudo over there and make him, pull up those sources.
Pseudo.
Period, because that's what they are. Pseudo. Beyond pseudo. We made this name just for you people. And then how you gonna be calling yourself? It's just the fact of calling yourself the killer of pseudos while doing it while being very, very pseudo. Because I mean, it was something when it was just page 23.
Honey, we prophets.
But I mean, come on now,
They are
come on
pseudo.
now,
They
all
kill.
every single, come on, come on.
Did you
What?
just say we're prophets?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
killing themselves. Oh, that's the whole purpose of the dumb ways to die. They are pseudo. They are pseudo killers, but they killing themselves. It's suicide.
Yeah, suicide. Mm, 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 Talk about you don't want to debate us, sir. We need to see your slides before the event.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. In fact, my debate offer still stands. I still want that smoke.
Yeah, bring that. Bring some smoke.
I'm smoking on that scientist pack right now.
Yeah, yeah, Pan. Like seriously, it'll be like, what the heck? How do you spell Suedos? Well, the originator of this word is Shay Monet, and she spells it the same way he spells pseudo. Because it was just how she pronounced it at first. So, I think the way you do it, you got to put a P in front of the S. Nerdy brew. The P is silent. Suedos. That's what we got. That's what I'm gonna call them every time I see them. Them and the other individuals. Suedos. Hey, Rollins. Yeah, the Suedo killers. That's
Pseudo
what we are.
killers.
We're Suedo killers.
That's funny.
Because this is preposterous. Oh man. It was just like, it's sad. It's so sad. Because the people expect more. How many people y'all got over there watching his corny ass fucking ASMR, sleep presentations and shit? Them things. Right?
Yeah.
I gotta vet those now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
Oh no.
Well, right. It's gonna take so much time because this was two 10-minute rounds, right? And
Imagine,
every slide you had a quote on was pseudo. What?
so imagine if we're doing like an entire, 5-part series.
Wait, y'all, is this really why JJ was so mad at me?
Right, exactly. Hey, listen, Khalil. You said you
I'm
would.
not. Hey, Khalil, he gotta adjust this one.
You're
He
not
gotta
gonna be
adjust
able
this
to
one.
come against what? Come now. Come, sir. You talked shit. I'm talking about during the debate, during the after show for 5 hours. Y'all done had a whole show about my man's hit me in here. Y'all done what? What? You gonna try to run from that? You better put on fucking
No, they
track
gotta put some
shoes.
respect on Himmy name. They was trying to come for him.
Yeah,
I like that.
right. And they tried to comfort it. The minute he said the quote from old girl, I said it was pseudo. That don't sound right. That's pseudo. I didn't even read the book yet. They want to go in. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's people in the comments right now. If you go to the comments of their debate, it's literally people in the comments saying that he won with the quotes. And they're pseudo quotes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look, this is the video. Can y'all see it?
Yep. Shout out to DMG. He popped in here earlier.
Oh yeah, shout out to DMG. Right, Paradigm Shift is the place to be, baby.
Big
This place right here.
DMG.
This paradigm shift. You see the apple. That's them. You'll see us over there. We debating. Come tomorrow. Ooh, come tomorrow. Oh, please. Please, everybody. Oh, go to Paradigm Shift tomorrow for the free smoke. I hope he show up.
Free
Oh,
Smoke
please come.
Friday.
Please come. Look, this says he wanted to debate just on the opening. The opening pseudo that he said. But look, right here it says, Doctor Too Sweet, how did you miss the first line of sentence from Professor Rothberg, which killed your whole argument and presentation when he said to differentiate between the two, astrology and astronomy is a matter of convenience?
Says didn't need to do any more talking. Yeah, that's the source where we talked about he chopped and screwed. And it's not Rothberg, it's Rockberg. So get that right.
Yeah, he did say Rothberg's poor thing.
Put
It's
some
okay.
respect on her name.
Either way it
She's a
goes, it
historian.
was wrong.
She's a seriologist and a historian.
Yeah, they in here thinking that he definitely won based on things that he said that we just proved were false. So it's not even about, but it's not about his win to me. It's about the fact that it's false, and you tried to talk
Right.
crap to us. That's my problem. That's my issue. You talk crap to us. You said we can read. You said we don't have sources, but you apparently didn't have your sources because we pulled them up and simply in this little 2-hour span, we did your like 2 rounds of quotes, and you could have did that for yourself, and you didn't.
But see, here's my thing, everyone. My thing is when people do this isn't just a one-off. This isn't just I'm gonna do this one time and never do it again. He's done this before. I'm willing to bet he's done it before. I'm willing to bet that's how he's been getting by with his debates. So, and now that you know that this is something that he does, now you have the ability to check, his sources, check his quotes, check his sources, make sure that they say what they say, and if they don't, call him out on it. So yeah, I'm willing to bet he's been doing this for quite a while. We just we Scooby Doo and friends. We just pull the sheet off of the ghost. But yeah, it looks like anybody wanna come up and say anything. Anybody in the back?
Oh, ain't nobody gonna come up here. They ain't scary. This one worse than anybody could have ever thought. You thought I had one slide. The one slide you gave me had a pseudo quote on it. So why wouldn't I look at the rest? And the
Well,
fact that all of your quotes are pseudo is nuts.
the pseudo feel is probably mourning right now. Mel, you gotta give them time. You know what I'm saying? Give some time to mourn a little bit. They
Dearly
probably
beloved, we are gathered here today to lay the rest on the hoes that came to play.
you tell them.
Hey, don't be surprised if it's one less pseudo killer.
Dun, dun, dun. How you gonna redeem yourself, bro?
He can't.
You ain't gonna want to debate us. You sure not.
I really don't want to
Uh,
do. Sure.
Oh my god. You know what I'm saying? I
He
gotta
don't
resharpen my knife. I just slayed and slipped, and I'm slipping on blood and stuff over here.
look, he ain't got no problem saying our names, but when he say okay, debate then. Oh, now we too small. We don't know enough.
Mm-hmm.
No, we was gonna tear apart them BS slides you put together. Them fake.
exactly.
Know what you ducking, you know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys. Well, I guess we can wrap it up. There's a lot going on the outside, and This is the Barbarian Speaks, and all of us will be. I'm sorry, Ryan just changed his name to Suedo Observer. all of all of us will be in attendance tomorrow on Paradigm Shift. So please, please, go over there. It's a lot of stuff over there. They do interviews. They do a lot of debates right here. Paradigm Shift. We love it over there. Definitely be over there. So, shout out to DMG, everybody that's over there making it happen, Craig's and all of that. They be getting on my nerves, but they doing their thing
You might catch a
for
barbarian sighting over there tomorrow.
Can I do a quick, quick honey?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So if for all y'all that don't know, tonight is the night. We're already on Band Lab. Act 2 of my mixtape is out. Y'all go get that if you're interested. If you're not interested, still go get it because you might become interested. You know what I'm saying? So part 2 out tonight on Band Lab already, and it will be available on YouTube at 12 a.m. That's it, honey.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up.
I know that's what I was trying to do. I'm like, you ain't gonna tell them about the project. Just say, listen.
Right.
Oh, listen. It might, you might like it or something. What? Well, what is it about?
Yeah,
What we doing?
I enjoyed Act 1. I've heard them separate, but like hearing them like full body of work, it's pretty good. So I'm excited to see and listen. Should I listen to Act 2 as well as the other ones you got coming up? So
Let me see if I can find the link to.
I'm actually logging in to Band Lab right now, so let me see if I can pull it up here.
I'm like, it's some nice songs on there. I think I'm on one of them somewhere. On one of these albums he's coming out with. He got so many.
Yeah, look out for honey. She on Act 4. You know what I'm saying? She on Act 4. We got a little joint together. She'll be on there. Neo made Act 1.
Okay, I'm about to share my screen. Hold on.
What's a boo?
It's crazy.
Nah, that song. What's that song? Out My Body.
Yeah.
Right, JJ just love.
Yeah, he keep asking for it. I tell Neo hit me up and was like, JJ asked me for this. I don't know if he trying to do something with it or he just like he been asking me for it since it dropped. I told him go ahead and send it to him.
Yeah, he shared that song like every day.
Yeah. I love it. That's on the I ain't even announced that yet, but that's on a different project. That won't be on virtual reality. They'll be on my full Christian rap album titled Alter Ego. I'm dropping that in June.
All right, this is Act 1. He releases on May 9th. I just put the link to that in Band Lab, so definitely check that out. I'll go back and we'll go to Act 2. That's Act 2 as well. I haven't listened to it yet. It's a little bit longer. So we put this link in the chat too.
Yeah, he got one extra song, but I think Act 2 is really enjoyable. Act 2 and 3, I think all of them enjoyable. I'm about to try to stick to one, but yeah, this one I started talking crazy though in this one. So
Yep. So yeah, go check that out. That's Hemi on Band Lab. I think you can look up Hemi or Big Hemi.
Yeah, Big Hemi 713 on Band Lab.
There you go.
Big Hemi 713 on YouTube. Young YUNG_HARB 713 on Instagram. And like I said, that's already available on Band Lab right now because day 12 a.m. is somewhere different. And then YouTube link will be available at midnight tonight. Act 3 will be out next Friday, so stay tuned to that. All right, honey, that's it.
All right, one more thing. Let me share this real quick.
Oh, okay.
All right, so this is the playlist here. I'll just drop that in the chat as well. So you got a playlist. You see Virtual Reality Act 2, Act 1, Act 2 will be up tonight. All right.
Y'all hit it up, Big Hemi.
Appreciate
All right, now
that.
you can listen to us sing How We Are the Champions. Because we are. You hear that? We are. Later.
We the champions, trailblaze no missing. Speak facts, let the world stop and listen. Barbarian swing, every point hit the mark. Cut through the noise like flames in the dark. We the champions, ain't no retreat. Still sharp and steel, every word, every beat. On the mic or the stage, we control the game. Barbarian debate, yeah, they remember the name. Paint the battlefield vivid, every lyric's a stroke. Turn your whole team to ghosts when the truth is provoked. Bar for bar, I'm a titan, got the heavies and all. Lines heavy as Atlas, hold the world in my claws. I see life through the prism, talking dark in the light. From the dirt to the throne, every wrong made right. Barbarian minds, they got the truth in my veins. They talk heat, but they fire don't match my flame. Flip the map, global presence, I'm a legend in time. They clock out, I clock in, redefining the grind. Cutting lies like confetti, watch the fall of the sea. Barbarians hold the key, now they ain't safe in these streets. We the champions, trailblaze no missing. Speak facts, let the world stop and listen. Barbarian swing, every point hit the mark. Cut through the noise like flames in the dark. We the champions, ain't no retreat. Still sharp and steel, every word, every beat. On the mic or the stage, we control the game. Barbarian debate, yeah, they remember the name.
Correcting pseudos is fun, it's like righting the wrong. Honey, death toll is large from me collecting the pawns. We keep their heads on the wall and bring them back just for fun. Barbarians is lurking, but really what can be done? Meta AI is no match, you better read more than that. We redefining the game, and you lames is to blame. If you wanna play, set it up. We set the bar, you ain't tough. Step in the ring or you must. Don't waste our time with the fuss. I tip my hat cause you brave, and you the next one we claim. We toast to drink to your name, and then we spark up the flame. I don't care if it's one or two. No, they back by the whole crew. Don't bother running. Once we come in, we gonna collect you.
We the champions, trailblaze no missing. Speak facts, let the world stop and listen. Barbarian swing, every point hit the mark. Cut through the noise like flames in the dark. We the champions, ain't no retreat. Still sharp and steel, every word, every beat. On the mic or the stage, we control the game. Barbarian debate, yeah, they